What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm working on my rear subframe for my M3. I'm actually was upgrading all the subframe bushings to solid aluminum. Prior I was running these AKG polyurethane bushings, but I upgraded to solid. These are actually custom made by my friend that has a CNC shop. So while doing all that, I also had a leak from my boot, from my CV boot, and I figure I'll make a video about this because it's actually pretty easy thing to fix. And I didn't see any videos out there covering this topic, so this video is gonna be about how to fix your broken CV boot. What you will need to fix this issue is you buy this kit by GKN, which has all the necessary parts. This is a OE manufacturer, so this is exactly same, I guess, same type of rubber as it comes on the OE drive shafts, and it comes with this new boot. Comes with grease, new cover, new C-clip, and the band for the CV shaft. So in order to install this, you'll need, I guess, one or two special tools. One of them being this type of clamping device to clamp down this clamp, which is fairly common. This is used by plumbers, so you could get this at your local Lowe's or Home Depot store. And you will need C-clip pliers. So those are the two special tools needed to accomplish this this changeover, so to speak. So I'm gonna get into some more details how to undo all this. One note: if you're doing this, wear the worst clothing you have, because this is gonna get messy real quick. So you want to make sure you have clothes that you could throw away. Now, while on this topic, you will not need to drop your subframe to do this. Like I mentioned, I was doing other stuff, so I'm doing it at this stage. But you could actually do this while everything is in the car with the diff in mounted, so you do not need to drop the diff to do this. Like I said, I'm doing other stuff, so that's why I have it set up the way it is right now. So I'm not gonna get into details how to unbolt stuff. I'm just gonna focus specifically how to change this out, this part alone. But while being here, let me give you some background why I upgraded or made these custom bushings and upgraded from the polyurethane. The obvious factor is this is more rigid, that doesn't provide any flex, and it's solid. It's been proven that these solid bushings don't really degrade the right quality on the M3. But the main benefit, these actually raise the subframe about 10 millimeters up, closer to the floor, which is very essential for cars that are lowered, because that corrects the roll center. The benefit I'm looking forward to, aside from them being solid for this upgrade, so that should give you a better stability, coordinating hard. But let's not derail from the topic of this video, changing the boot. So let me prepare some of the tools I'll need. You will need some kind of flat screwdriver and the tools I mentioned prior, and we could start changing this over. First things first, you will need to take this cover off. So get a screwdriver, hammer, and just tap it all around, and that should come right off. Came out just like that. As you could see, this is original drive shaft, so the grease is it's like water, so it's actually a good time to repack this with some nice thicker grease, because it's been through so many heat cycles that as you could see, it's quite watery now. You want to clean it out with some paper towel, just like that. You can expose the C-clip. Get your C-clip pliers, and there it is. Now you could separate this band here, that factory boot had. This is actually a different style than the one that came with the kit, but that's all right. So you can loosen this, and boom. Actually, this is nice, because I think you could actually probably reuse this, but anyhow, slide your pick around to loosen the rubber, and boom, voila, we have our CV out. So now all we have to do is separate. Oh, look at all this stuff dripping. Oh God, this is nasty. So now we have to just separate the actual the bearing from the boot. So let's take it on the vise. Good, place the spline on the vise, clamp it, and just tap it all around, just like you did with the other half. It will come off just like that. And we only have the spline there, and this is the garbage boot. We have the spline on the table, and you could just place this, the new part, over and take a rubber mat and try to tap it around. Now if that doesn't work, I'll share another technique later on. Line up the holes. With the boot seated on the spline. Now if it doesn't seat all the way, don't worry, because guess what you could actually do is use these bolts, and when you are tightening everything back together, or you could use nuts on the other side, you could fully tighten it all around, and it will seat nice and properly. So if you tap it around, it doesn't fully seat, nothing to worry about. So now you could I'm actually gonna put some grease inside here. I think that's gonna be easier than just try to stick it through here later on, and then the remaining goes for the outside in the bag. So let's put this back on the CV axle now. One tip I want to give you is that this rubber piece or hole here on the rubber boot might seem small and might have hard time going on. So what you could do is gently warm it up with the heat gun. This is very fine though, like you don't want to warm it up too much because you don't want to damage the rubber. But if you warm it up slightly, this will be more pliable, and it will go over the drive shaft or the CV easier, just so it's nice and pliable. Just warm to the touch, and that's it. Let's see if we could get this over. See, it goes on tight. Once you pressed it in over and you could see the groove, you could take your C-clip, the new one, and place it in the groove, and make sure it's nicely seated and went into the groove, and that's pretty much it in terms of securing it in place. So I got the C-clip on. However, I did run into one issue, and this is with this new clamp that goes here. It's significantly much smaller than the diameter of this shaft, so I'm not sure what's going on here, and this is kind of frustrating, and there's no way I'd be able to fit this on. So I could try to undo this here and see if I could extend it and clamp it on, or I could reuse the old one. I don't really want to reuse the old one, but it is reusable from what I could see, because I could just guide it through and turn this up and tighten it this way. So this is reusable after all. So I thought about it a few minutes, and there's no way. See, this first hole needs to go over here, and there is, once you unhook it and slide it over, great, you got half of the job done. But this needs to go back here, and see, there's just, you won't have enough force for it to go over here. So the bend that they provide is way too small, and this is I'm gonna say this is a drawback of this kit. Supposedly this is supposed to be OEM. I don't know if I got the wrong clamp that they provided here, I'm not sure, but that's one negative aspect of this kit so far, because this notch needs to be here, and if you put it over before you slide it over, then you won't be able to get this over because this is so tight. And that's one negative of this kit. But the good part is you could, I guess, reuse the old one that you have. You could just take this off since you undid it, so that doesn't really affect you in any negative way, so to speak. I got the clip on, but this is really frustrating. I mean, it won't go exactly to the same spot as the old one was because the rubber is thicker. So it's had a really hard time with this, but I got it on, and it's nice and tight. But it's really frustrating that you can't really use this one they provided, at least with my kit, because it's way too small. It's like the thickness is not even close, and you can't just get it back on. But regardless, all right, let's not waste time. We're gonna get this back cover on now. You want to put the rest of the grease either here or spread it all around from the pouch, and we could try to reinstall this new cover. Hopefully we won't get troubles with this like we did with this clip. But I'm gonna use the bolts, so you could kind of use them as a reference. So you could guide it through the holes, and you could use them to kind of tap things through. And use the bolts to so to speak, guidance marks. See, so they go nicely through. If you tap it all around and you see it's not going all around, what you could do is, if you have a M7, I believe, not like this, yeah, this is, and it has a thread pitch of 1.0, you could actually thread it on the other side of the bolts, and then you could just go all around, and basically it will pull the two covers together. It will nicely even seat the both covers. All right, so we're all done. Nice, the cover is all seated. If it don't come flat all the way, don't worry, because as you tighten the bolts to the diff later on, this is all gonna be flat anyhow. It's gonna pull it all nicely together. It was a bit frustrating with this clamp that I couldn't use the one that they provide, since it's impossible. If you guys do this kit and you come to a situation I had with the clamp is small, I don't know if it was just my kit or they all come like that. If you know how to get this on, leave a comment down below. But other than that, you saw what's involved. It's real messy, so yeah, you could see that the old grease is running everywhere when you take it apart. It's actually a good situation if you do have a situation like me to pop this cover off and re-grease the other side. That way you have a nice fresh grease, because after years of use it does become runny, as you saw, and it loses its properties, so you have a nice fresh grease on the other side. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. So yeah, that's how you replace a CV or inner CV on these axles. So other than that, that's pretty much it. Oh, and I got these lights the other day on Amazon, and I must say they are phenomenal. Check this out. They have a motion thing They turn on and off with just a wave of hand, which is kind of awesome, and they work better. I've been using these along the years, but they're annoying because you have to replace batteries, and these are type C connection rechargeable, and they also have this small light here which you turn on. I got them on Amazon for like 15 bucks on sale. Can't go wrong, and good lighting is always important when you're working on stuff like that. So if you want them, you go check them out. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.